2021, after a full year of working 100% remotely, I moved to a hybrid schedule once the vaccines rolled out and people wanted to once again spend time with humans from outside of their household. I continue to implement time blocking and time estimations, the same strategies that I recommend for any situation, and as well as the strategies for creating realistic to-do lists. And just like I'd done even before COVID and before this whole concept of working a hybrid schedule. Now, what I'd like to share with you are tips that should be considered when you're transitioning between the office and home when you are working this hybrid schedule. Tip number one, decide on your hybrid schedule. You could go into the office each day to work a half day and then work the other half at home. And this will give you the opportunity to attend meetings in person and have important face to face communications and alleviate a fear that many people suffer from. Not being seen leads to being forgotten. So far, there's no proof of this, by the way. But if your commute is more than 15 minutes away, you might consider consolidating your on-site hours to 2 days a week in order to save time and money by not commuting on the other 3 days. So decide on what's best for you when it comes to a hybrid schedule. Tip number two, set up two offices. If you need to constantly carry supplies and work materials back and forth and back and forth, this just adds to your to-do list. Plus, it increases the probability of forgetting something or losing something. So if your work materials are files, go digital as much as possible to avoid misplacing important documents. But for anything else that you need to carry back and forth, any types of physical supplies, make sure that you have duplicates, one in each place, so you don't have to carry so much around. Tip number three, keep your schedule consistent. If you can work the same days from home and the same days in the office each week, that will cut back on shuffling. Additionally, if at all possible, keep your same daily routines, whether you work from home or in the office. Whether it's a consistent weekly schedule or a daily schedule, this will save you time. Your colleagues won't be constantly scheduling you for meetings or making requests that clash with your schedule or your location. When this happens, it costs you time when you have to reschedule or make alternate arrangements. So, as much as possible, be sure to keep your schedule consistent on that daily or weekly basis, and no matter what your location is. Tip number four, specify your location on your calendar. To help support the concept of the previous tip, especially if you don't have the option of that consistency, be sure to somehow notate your location on your calendar so colleagues will know where you're going to be instead of them messaging you or texting you or slacking you or emailing you to ask you for that information, because this will cost you time. You may not be able to implement all of these tips, but if you can implement at least one of them, that will help you be that much more efficient with working a hybrid schedule.